It's the is what it is news. People say, I can't keep living like this. No, you can keep living like that. You don't want to, but you
The
totally
proof is
can.
everywhere.
Yeah, the proof is everywhere. Oh, you've
Yeah.
been doing this thing that you're sick and tired of for the past 6 years. Guess what? You can do it for another 6.
Hmm.
You could easily do that for another 6. I didn't ask you if you wanted to do it for another 6. I'm just saying that you can.
Hmm.
You can also change it too. So yeah, that comes to mind. And man, the stuff that came out of him, the emotions and feelings, um, and we got to a specific sentence, and the sentence was, because I asked him, what does it mean about him that he did all those things? He goes, it means that I'm a monster,
Hmm.
and that had been in there. Good luck waking up and thinking that every day, all day long.
Hmm.
And I took out monster and put in addict,
Hmm.
and that dude cracked like a nut. And because there's a difference between a monster and an addict, and he'd be, and that right there gave him extra space and extra clarity. It sheared all, it filed down a nice part of the horns of the victim mentality, or the victim mentality that he was beating himself over the head with for God knows how long. I mean, that's one story.
Let's the victim mentality. That's a good little reference. What is the victim mentality, Mark?
The victim mentality, everybody, is it's the thief in the night. It is way more commonly used than any drug on the planet. Its addictive properties are way more hardcore than 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 any drug on the planet, and I mean that. I know what's happening with the fentanyl crawl and Kensington Street down in it's the victim that shit's got nothing on the carnage that the victim mentality induces. Because and by the way, guess what? Guess what most people guess what gets most people into those circumstances in the first place? The victim mentality, feeling
Yeah.
like they're not good enough, thinking that no one will ever really love them. I mean, that's the basis of most suicides.
Yeah, that's a first order issue
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
rest of it is
well said.
symptomologies.
Very well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
First order issue. First order issue. And it's so transmissible. A lot of times it's inherited because there are language patterns to the victim mentality, and we inherit our language from our parents or the people we grow and the people we grow up around. And most people are not thinking about their thinking. They're not contemplating on how
Mhm.
their words are influencing themselves and other people for better and for worse. So we get handed this storytelling mechanism with some glitches in it, and most people get addicted to the story that they tell themselves before they ever figure out, and most people never figured out what smacked them in the face in the first place, because there's nothing more seductive than our own voice in our own mind. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm going to recite the definition of the victim mentality twice, everybody. I recommend picking up a pen and writing it out, because most people have never heard the definition of the victim mentality, much less written it down. So put yourself in a good and extraordinarily unique club by writing down the definition of the victim mentality. Here we go. So this is slow. And then the second time I'll speed it up and add some polish to it. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait where a person tends to regard himself or herself as the victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends on a habitual thought process and attributions. That's the verbatim definition. Here it is a little faster with some shine. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait where a person tends, it's a tendency, everybody. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. A person tends to regard himself or herself as the victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends, circle that word, on a habitual, underline that word, thought process and attributions. That second sentence is right between the eyes, right where it belongs. The victim mentality depends, as in it has to have a habitual, which accurately implies duration and addiction. Thought process. What's a thought process? Glad you asked. It's how you put your words together. Everybody has one. And then attributions. What's an attribution? It's a characteristic. And the main characteristic that we focus on, other than the words here at Enlifted, is breathing. The victim mentality, it is stressful, and it's got more flavors than Baskin Robbins. It puts people in a stress state, traps their breath in their chest, and as we tell the coaches multiple times throughout all our certs, good luck changing your client's mind if their breath is trapped in their chest. You've got to loosen that thing up. Take out clients, put in your own. Good luck changing your own mind if your breath is trapped in your chest. Ain't gonna happen. So yeah, we focus on words and breathing.